There are times when I would think that really having this podcast to do and enjoying it, that I would be in my ripe old ages. That age when a man has his fruits kind of hanging extremely low. You could wrap it around your leg type of thing to keep it from scraping the ground. But today really was a day that certified that. I was quite elated, but we'll get into that in just about a moment.
This is Sparta! Fatality.
Welcome to episode number 339 of the UFO Radio Thursday Freak Out. And right off the back, I have Dave in the live group chat. Dave, you actually made it in pretty early. Quite fascinating. Ladies and gentlemen, I have one article and one piece of news, and that is that, again, the podcast has been recognized as something that people should listen to. I've been saying this for years. Like, literally, I really have. Go back and listen to the over 400 episodes. Listen closely. And I've said share it with your peoples. Come on. Share it with the people who care. That's all you got to do. Green Man is now logged into the Thursday Freakout. There was a list that was published, actually today, that included UFO Buster Radio in the top 20 UFO podcasts to follow in 2020. Now listen, the article itself should have said that you should have been listening to years before. And, I have this conversation a lot with folks regarding this topic of UFOs, right? Listen, we get into a situation where we are afraid to talk to people about, abductions, aliens, mutilations, UFO sightings, all those kind of things. Especially if you're an experiencer. Like, you'd rather go home and sit on the plunger repeatedly than talk to someone that you know, even a family member, about an experience you had related to this topic. That's just the way it is. What I found before I started this podcast was that I wanted to talk about it. And I knew that there were people out there who wanted to talk about it as well. They kind of were, afraid to. That's the bottom line. A bit of history. When I first started the podcast, it actually ended after about a month. And then I took a bit of a hiatus, about 6 years. But when I first got onto it, some of you who listen to this podcast also listened to Rich Giordano of the, now he calls it Goof On, the Goof On situation. And what I enjoyed about that interaction and listening to his show, number one, pretty much like me, explicit every step of the way. But when I finally got up to the point where I was like comfortable in listening to him, I sent him a message. And lo and behold, the next day, bada bing, What does he do? He actually responds. And that's what really drives the want or the need or the planning and the continual dedication to actually doing the podcast is the fact that I get to interact with people who actually have some kind of experience in it or have made it their passion to investigate UFO stories or just anything related to a topic, and even in a roundabout way. Conspiracies, if you will, which, by the way, one of my conspiracies might be coming through, but that's part of the second episode. Now, when I look at this list, I can say this much. There's a lot of podcasts here that I used to listen to. I did, but what happened was, at one point, they just got too dry. There is only so many times that you can invite someone onto your podcast to talk about the different angles for Roswell. After a while, it gets to be too much. You need to plug that shit up and keep it moving. And trust me, I'd rather not do a podcast episode if I'm just going to regurgitate some crazy shit that has been spun in 30 million different ways. I'd rather just pour myself a little bit of the vodkas and chill out. Yeah, and watch some Netflix. The link for this list is in the description for you to check it out. Now, this is a blog feed spot, so they actually create listings for a lot of different things. Podcast is one of them, and by category. So if you have a podcast that you listen to that has to do with dead people, there you go. Hopefully, the Dark Horde will be on that list next year. We just got started, so, we don't have that, as they say in the biz, visibility yet. But let's go over the top podcast list so that way you know who to follow. Now, the first one I used to listen to, and I promise you, long-ass podcast episodes, and after about 45 minutes, I couldn't take it anymore. I would just give up. Or play it at triple the speed so I can get through it faster. Podcast UFO. Now, very fascinating fact about this. Podcast UFO, really closely related to number 14, Open Minds UFO Radio, Mr. Alejandro Rojas. And, I got my issues with that guy, but it is what it is. But apparently, I guess the student has become the teacher in this case. Number 2, Unknown, a UFO podcast. I've never heard of this one, so there you go. Number 3, UFO Warning. Number 4, I used to listen to Mysterious Universe podcast. Pretty good setup, I gotta say. Number 5, Strange Skies. I don't give two shits about that guy. Number 6, Somewhere in the Skies. Let's see. Number 7, Truth Be Told. I actually used to listen to Truth Be Told a lot when it was when one of the guys was a medium. At that point, that was really fucking interesting to me. It was exciting, but once the mediumship went out the window and they created UBN, I went out the window too. I just couldn't do it anymore. Number 8, who the fuck is this guy? UFO Buster Radio Network. They never heard of them fuckers. Number 9, Saucer Life. Number 10, Extraterrestrial. God, talk about being obvious. Number 11, UFOs Anonymous. Number 12, UFO Garage, which I think they're pretty new to the scene. I'm not really sure. 13, Coffee and UFOs. I promise you, you will not be drinking coffee around any fucking UFOs. But, who knows? It just might be like a breakfast club thing with them. I have no idea. It's kind of strange. And of course, number 14, Open Minds Radio. I really didn't want to go past that because, being at number 8, we don't want to go too far down the list because we might get lost. That is the list. And listen, I am very proud of it. I am ecstatic that I have the listenership that would actually get me to that point. And many times in the last few years, like I've said on a podcast around January, I'm always thinking about dropping this whole gig altogether. I don't do it for the money. I do it for fun. I do it for the interactions. I do it for the fact that for decades, we still have this fucking topic that we cannot solve. Plus, I get to curse a lot. So why not? Actually, if you were to ask anyone in my personal life whether or not I'm a sailor like I am on the podcast, they would be probably shocked, amazed, and probably call you a liar and say that that's impossible. Because I really don't. Being born and raised in New York, living in other metropolitan areas, you tend to be able to, keep it on the wraps. Just so that you don't offend the virgin weak. Because sometimes people take the fact that you say the word shit or drop a couple of fucks that you are much less educated and less experienced than they are. And that's a mistake. Promise you, that is a big mistake. Before we get into our first little track for today, reminder, ladies and gentlemen, it is the 6th of February, 5 days. 5 days to the end. The deadline comes in for the Tinfoil Hat number 2 contest. Again, this is how I try to connect with the audience and show my appreciation for the fact that you guys actually get on and listen. Whether you're on the shitter, you're at work, you're driving, whatever it is. So join this particular situation, get your tinfoil hat going, and let's do this. Let's get it done. Giddy up. I'm going to tell you right now that I've received some really fascinating entries, but that doesn't mean you got to give up. No. Now, do you think Travis Walton stopped fighting when he was on the UFO? No. They probably probed him way too many times. But he didn't stop fighting. Why should you? Let's do it. Get it in. Get it done. Get that chance to win that $25 Amazon gift card. You're bound to find something there to purchase. Come on. Stop screwing around. Get it. This next story I'm bringing to you, it is part of the Blue Chicken Ascension Ministries. And I am your emissary, Manny Moonraker. I'm here to bring you the word, bring you to the light, get you out of the darkness. Yeah, I know what you do in the dark. I'm not stupid. I'm trying to clear you from that. I'm trying to make you whole again using the knowledge that blue chickens tend to bestow upon us. And I am giving that to you as part of the ministry work that I have to do as you become the eventual chicken heads that will follow this particular religion. I mean, because, come on. If these guys can have religions in ufology, why can't I? And why not? Right? I'm going to bring you a conspiracy that I've had. I've had this conspiracy now for a while. And I'm going to bring you full circle. And I'm going to preach it to you, Dave, Greenman, Gooter. I'm going to tell you what it's about. And thanks to my faith in the blue chicken and everything that the ascension represents, you're about to get schooled. Full circle, you're going to see how the madness works and why we're number 8 and not number 1, actually. So no fucks given there. There was an article today, but before we get into that, I just want to say this. For a few months, I've been saying that the Starlink satellites, there's an ulterior motive to these things. I promise you that you guys may not believe me, but I've sat around and thought about this. Like, what sane person would sit around and fuck up the sky? Let's be honest here. Let's be honest. I've even said that an individual that we know very well, who's in the news all the time, that he's turning into a supervillain. He really is. He's becoming the supervillain of science, the supervillain of man. He is our amped up, crazy, jazzed up Lex Luthor. And he's about to wipe the sky completely clean of visibility. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see shit, buddy. It's done. While there are a lot of people going around with torches and pitchforks wanting to get the law involved to sue SpaceX, Elon Musk, to stop the Starlinks from continuously going up, I just wondered, the idea to bring broadband to everyone, it's makes no fucking sense. Let me just put it there. Just no sense at all. Like, trust me, I don't fucking get it. Makes no sense. And the amount of Starlinks that he says needs to put up, it's utterly ridiculous. So my blue chicken ministry started kicking in, and I started feeling the ascension from upon high, from the other side of the veil, from the aliens. And I did, Dave. I had a dream that we were fucked in so many ways. Let's just look at this article that was published recently by CNET.com. It is titled, Elon Musk Says, Awesome. He is so hip, it's dangerous. A Neuralink update is coming. And I said, for one moment, just that one moment, I heard the blue clucking in my mind. I felt it in my soul as I was now beginning to ascend to a higher plane of myself as the emissary. Everyone bow your heads right now. Apparently there is a device that links the brain with a computer that could be implanted in a human for the first time later on this year. Ladies and gentlemen, women and children of all ages, elephants, kangaroos, wherever the fuck you live at, llamas. they're all running scared right now. Because I would think that someone, Antichrist, that would be doing something like this. How could someone with these kind of plans, Antichrist, be fooling the world? He believes, and that would be Elon Antichrist Musk, that hooking up our brains up to a computer can help humans overcome disabilities, injuries, and eventually, Antichrist, compete with smarter artificial intelligence. I mean, that is just the apocalypse. I mean, this is the end of the fucking world. What does this have to do with UFOs? I don't fucking know. All I know is I've had this feeling of dread when it comes to the idea that it's all about bringing broadband to people who wear leaves. It made no sense to me. But now, thanks to the Blue Chicken Ascension Ministry, I get it. It all makes sense now. Elon is all about it. He says the billionaire said this past Sunday that his startup, Neuralink, will show off an update to his developing brain-computer interface technology later this year that will be, in a word, awesome, dude. There is just something wrong with this. Let's put it all together, right? You're going to throw up several thousand satellites to bring broadband to parts of the world that are not able to receive them, probably because they don't have fucking equipment to receive it. But I digress. I will stay within my emissarial job and not be so negative about Elon Antichrist Musk. But that's what he's planning. So this particular offshoot of SpaceX at Tesla, and I don't even know which part it's coming from, they are working on some kind of a chip to attach to your brain, to attach to a computer, which will get signals from Starlink. Can I make it any plainer? Do I need to put together some kind of a fucking diagram of people becoming slaves to the Starlinks as Elon leaves the planet and controls everyone from Mars? I don't know. There's just something about this. There's another quote from somebody that works for Elon. Apparently, she says, her name is Kathy Wood, actually. And she says the profound impact of high broadband. Here we go. Like, folks, it's just that easy. Here she is. And actually, no, I take that back. This is actually Musk who's saying this. The profound impact of high broadband, high precision neural interfaces is unprecedented. Neuralink may have this in a human as soon as this year. And he says, wait until you see the next version versus what we presented last year. It's awesome. He is so fucking hip. He's evil. Musk went on to say that a follow-up live event will probably happen sometime in the summer. Of course, that's the reason why he's rushing to get all of these little Starlinks up there. But don't expect to get in a line for your own Neuralink brain-computer fusion fiesta anytime soon. Apparently, there's a bit of time because Musk believes that first they have to make it super safe, easy to use, then determine where everyone will just become a fucking slave. I mean, the greatest utility versus risk, and from initially working to volume production to put it on every fucking body on the planet, and look at the implantation as a long road answer to paying people to do services. That's my take on it. I don't know. But really, it really is kind of strange that these all things are coming together. Myself, at this point, don't want any fucking Starlink anything, and I sure as hell don't want any kind of a fucking interface so that I can interface directly with a Starlink satellite with my brain. I don't know. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. I've had this sneaking suspicion that something was happening with this. And again, I'm telling you, the poor people in the freaking in the huts down in South America, they don't give two fucks about broadband. They really don't. So I'm just saying, something to think about. You guys in the chat box, you let me know what you think, because I know you probably are already, but I have to take a little musical break to kind of read all the back and forth that's going on there, because I can't keep up with it. Apparently, the guys in the chat box think that the being connected from your brain to the Starlink will enhance the five knuckle shuffle. I listen. I don't know. I mean, some people might enjoy that as they're being controlled to the bidding of the new dude in charge of the entire planet, the great Elon Musk. But I'm here to tell you, as part of the Blue Chicken Ascension Ministries, as an emissary, we need to stop this. We need to put the kibosh on this. I did see on Facebook that there was a lot of messages and actually tweets on Twitter regarding today's open career fair at the Boca Chica site. So apparently a lot of people were interested in it, and I'm not surprised. It's a good thing to get that employment now. I mean, you might as well go in and get paid by the guy once he puts the implant on your brain. At least you'll get benefits from it. The rest of us will just be fucked. We were walking around like zombies, like computers and shit. doing whatever the hell SpaceX and Elon Musk want us to do. It's just a really strange thing that one person, one organization has got all this power. Now, I did see recently, and this is like kind of pulling this out of my ass, kind of out of my memory, that Boeing and their Starliner just fucked up again. Yeah. Is this some kind of a setup? I mean, really, they are paving the way for SpaceX to take over the space industry here. Boeing's got the computer system on a Starliner fucked up again, so now NASA is blowing the whistle, saying, hey, we need to pump the brakes on this shit before we careen out of control and kill a few people just because we were so set on using the Starliner. Come on. You guys are a bunch of fuckers anyway. We saw what Congress did last week. We knew you guys were going with Boeing no matter what. So guess what? The fact that they're fucking up is just speaks volumes. It speaks volumes to the fact that you guys in Congress should have stuck that pen where the sun don't shine. Stop being opinionated. Work for the fucking people. That's all you should have done. Plain and simple. Guter says, who needs Boeing? We have Elon implant now. Yeah, there is something going. It is just so strange. There's like a battle for space, and fuckers haven't even made it into space yet. There is a battle for supremacy, like Transformers back in the day, the cartoons. And no one wants to give. But I feel like the loss of the president for Boeing is not the end of it. Heads will roll. But the question is, would these continued failures, this constant fucking up on the side of those people, will Congress, who likes to write about shit and sign stupid ass bills, will they back off and let SpaceX do what they have to do? Listen, I don't got any problems with SpaceX and Starlink. I'm sorry, not Starlink, Starship. I think that's fantastic. I love rocketry, and I was a big fan of the space shuttle program. But this Starlink and these brain implants, that's a whole fucking different ball game. That is something that seriously is fucked up on a lot of different levels. Because I guarantee you, there's a lot of rubber dickers out there who, even if it is not apparent that you can connect your implant to Starlink, I guarantee you they will try to make it happen. And to what end? I know in the chat box, porn governs. So if you can get your porn indirectly right into your neurons and not have to like press a button or nothing, it seems like it's going to be a plus. It's a win-win. But I guarantee you, the way people hack into computers and credit cards and things like that, your brain's going to be hacked as well. Without any worry for yourself being, you won't even be yourself. I'm just saying. Now, of course, I'm talking a lot of shit, but it's a conspiracy that I have. I kind of feel it just formulating on so many levels. But we'll see what happens. Guter says it's the natural order of things. We fuckers are going to get implanted and barcoded and sent out to do some work to keep the Illuminati rich and powerful and in charge. So that's about it. I kind of wanted to leave open lines here. So I don't know if anyone's going to call. It is live. It's only live right now as it's happening. You guys who are on any other platform other than Spreaker, if you call, you get a voicemail basically. And you can leave a message if you want. I would appreciate that just as well. But if you're looking to share the podcast in any way, shape, or form, follow, share, retweet, get your mama and your dada to listen as well. Because, I mean, they're old as fuck. They've probably seen a bunch of UFOs. They just weren't allowed to talk about it. Check it out on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And apart from that, don't forget, $25 up for grabs. And if I get enough entries, there'll be second and third prizes as well. Tinfoil Hat Contest number 2. Be about it. Last thing is, the Dark Horde will be back on Saturday again. It's going to get darker and creepier. There is, you know what? I did have a Mr. X update, actually. I had a short conversation with Mr. X. We kind of chewed the fat a little bit. It wasn't part of the interview, but, I got to feel around and see what's going on. Get a little bit more insight on the story before he comes on for a full interview. But I'm starting to feel a little bit more safer that this is the way we are going to go. So we'll keep an eye out for that. It probably won't happen till the end of the month now. We got so many things going on behind the scenes, getting ready for a lot of stuff that's coming in the future. But as the number 8 podcast to follow in 2020, you're in the right spot. I guarantee you. This is the end of it now. Manny Moonraker, I am checking out. So let's see if we get back tomorrow. Fridays are usually busy for me, but if something pops off, I'll be here to spread the shit and talk the talk and walk the walk. Amen. Your emissary, checking out.
Are we lost? Are we not? Are we real? Are we turning to dust? Do you feel what I feel? Have we changed so damn much? Can we heal? You're not saying a word. There's a one brief. We lost all ambition for worldly acclaim. There's nothing moves forward. It just stays the same. Think you know the answer, but you're playing a game. Together. I've been thinking about you. If you think about me, are we thinking this through? If we're not meant to be and you're darting in me, tell me what shall we do? Didn't think you'd leave without a trace. Go find some courage and just say it to my face. 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 Say it to my face.
Are we lost? Are we not? Are we real?
Are we turning to dust? Do you feel what I feel?